To our extended YMC Mishpacha, to our parents, our students, our alumni, allow me to share with you a short idea on this eve of Rosh Hashana. We know one of the most striking and dramatic symbols of this Yom Tov is the tapuach b'dvash, the act of dipping the apple into honey. And along with its consumption, we recite the beautiful Yiratzon. We say, Yiratzon should be that this year should be tova u'masuka. It should be good and it should be sweet. It should be good and it should be sweet. The Hashana of HaKadosh makes a beautiful observation. He says, honey comes from a bee. Understand again, in those areas of Europe, they weren't partaking of date honey, but rather again, honey came from a bee. And the Hashana says something amazing. He says, the bee, which produces honey, which is so beautifully sweet, also stings. And that sting, that bee bite, that bee sting could cause so much incredible pain and so much incredible difficulty. Has something that could create pain, could also create sweetness. And the Rebbe says, that's really what we're asking for from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Of course, I want a year that's all good. And I want a year that's all simcha. And I want a year that's sweet. I want a year that's sweet. But what we're saying is deep down HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what I want to be able to find is the mesikus, the sweetness, even in the difficult situations in life. I recognize, Yibon Shalom, that all comes from you. I recognize all of that. So give me the ability to appreciate and have hakaras hatov for the things that are beautifully sweet. And give me the ability to understand that everything comes from you, even when it's good, but it's not sweet. The same bee that produces the honey also produces the sting. The same HaKadosh Baruch Hu that gives us the beautiful simchas, the same HaKadosh Baruch Hu who gives us the challenges and the difficulties of life as well. And the same way that I see the hand of Hashem in my beautiful brachas, allow me to see the hand and allow me to see the message from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even in the things that hurt a little bit. It has been an incredibly challenging year for Am Yisrael. And I think that none of us really know how we're going to feel as we enter into this Rosh Hashana. Knowing that on Rosh Hashana, all is decided. On Rosh Hashana, HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes all of the global cosmic decisions, which means that last Rosh Hashana is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu decreed about October 7th. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decreed about all the difficulties, all the tzars and all the brachos for Klal Yisrael. How we're going to feel as we enter into the Yamim Noraim, I think none of us really know. But this tefillah of the Baal Shem Tov has to be something that we keep with us. That we have to say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, give me the strength to see the sweetness even in the sting. Give me the strength to see you even in the difficulties. Give me the strength to always feel your companionship and your presence even when life is not easy. As the time of recording this message, over 150 ballistic missiles were launched from Iran into Eretz Yisrael, to our beloved ancestral homeland, causing millions of our brothers and sisters to seek shelter. And amazingly enough, it appears that Baruch Hashem, no damage occurred, no loss of life, but yet concurrently a terror attack in Yafo, going ahead and claiming at least 4 lives. It's overwhelming. There's the sweetness and there's the sting. And often they all come together. And so we say, we daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but we daven for ourselves. Yiratzon HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shetehei Shana Tova, Shetehei Shana Zu Tova Masuka. Let this year be good and let it be sweet. Sweetness represents the things that are objectively sweet and beautiful. And Tova means, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, allow me to see the good even in the things that sting a little bit as well. That's what it means to be a Yid. That's what it means to be a Jew. The ability to feel HaKadosh Baruch Hu's love when everything is beautiful and sweet. And the ability to feel his warm embrace, the ability to feel his support, even in the midst of stinging circumstances. We should be Zocheh Me'eretz Hashem, that it should be a year of incredible sweetness. It should be a year of bracha. It should be a year when our hostages are returned home. It should be a year, Me'eretz Hashem, when our soldiers are successful b'chol ma'aseh yadehem and are able to come back to their families. It should be a year where our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael run to simchas and not to shelters. It should be a year in Me'eretz Hashem in which every bracha that Am Yisrael deserves is showered upon us from on high, from the Ribono Shel Olam. But it should also be a year when we strengthen our resolve that no matter what the coming year brings, whether it's the sweetness or the sting, we are prepared. We will use these Yamim Tovim to bolster our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We will use these Yamim Tovim to make ourselves even stronger. We will use these Yamim Tovim to build up our spiritual muscle. And so whatever the coming year brings, we are ready to meet the challenge. We are ready, Emir Hashem. We eagerly anticipate and daven with all of our heart for the sweetness, but inevitably there's some stinging somewhere along the way. We'll be ready. We'll be ready, armed with our powerful souls, armed with our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There is no challenge that we cannot overcome. So I take this opportunity to wish all of you a ksiv v'chasim tova, should be a beautiful year filled with mazel, with bracha, with simcha, for us, for our families, for our community, for all of Klal Yisrael. And may we be zoch Emir Hashem Tafshin Pei Halavai. It should stand for Teheshnas Pirsum Hanes. This should be a year of overt miracles. This should be a year of supernatural miracles. This should be a year of the greatest miracle, the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu B'mehira B'yameinu. Amen. Best wishes for Hashana Tova U'Masuka and a Ksiva V'Chasima Tova.